man, do I feel this line. Hey guys, Blazie here. First of all, if you notice something different, it's because I'm trying out my new camera. Is this a smart way to do it? No, not at all. This is not how I should do it. I should not be making like a video that's going to take me at least 30 to 40 minutes to get through. Like this, I should be doing it with a little video, but I'm an idiot and I want to give my camera a try. So here we go. Hopefully it works. Hopefully everything's okay. I know it does focus on my face a lot, which is kind of nice, but I don't want it to be like in and out kind of focused on me and then not on the background or anything like that. Let's see if it works. Hi. Hello. I don't know how it's working. I can't see the camera thingy, but yeah. I know it does like to focus on my face and then not so much the background. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, welcome to my review of Wild Knights of Gulkeeva. So, people have asked me if there's a furry anime that I actually like. Cause I didn't really like Beastars, I didn't really like B&A, even though the idea was interesting, and the animation could be really cool, and this line here lives rent-free in my head.
You don't deserve it, to have me tear you apart with my claws. You'll die by my fist!
So what's a furry anime that I actually like? Well, here's one, Wild Knights of Gulkeeva, though it has many problems. For example, the subtitles. Oh boy. So this is an anime that came out in 1995, though it looks older than that. I thought it was like from the 80s or something. It does have a pretty cool style to it though. I honestly really love it. And the opening is one of my favourite anime openings, because I'll admit, I'm not a fan of a lot of anime opening music. It all just sounds generic and very the same. I'm just not a fan of it. But this one is definitely up there as one of my favourites. Take a listen to this intro. Obviously, I'm not sure how much I could show because of copyright and such, but it's a good song, especially just that intro, that very beginning of it. It's just like, yeah, this is like so 90s, 80s kind of anime. It's like, yeah, I'm down for this. And it ends pretty solidly as well. So this anime is all about our world being attacked by the Darknoids, a race of evil beings from another planet, but also on that planet are warriors trying to protect their world, and they're like kind of like another species, another kind of race. And now as the Darknoids attack Earth, they send down 3 warriors, Grathus, Bigwood and Garwill, to help defend Earth. That's the basic plot, which turns into the Darknoids trying to turn Earth into their new planet, which in turn will kill everyone. But Toya, our human hero, well, turns out he's not from Earth, but from the other world, and has a ancient warrior spirit within him that gives him the power to boost up his animonoids. I'm gonna go with his take. I'm just gonna go with it. Animonoid friends, and makes him a great warrior. Sounds complicated? No, that's just anime for you. It's not as complicated as it sounds, but yeah, some of the names they use are kind of just stupid, like the Darknoids. That's so, like, kids show kind of thing. And yes, this is a kids show, technically, but at the same time, it does go to places where kids shows don't normally do. But who cares about all of that, because let's talk about the yummy part of this. The furries. The first episode has Toya go running into like a mech battle, wanting to get closer to get a look because he's an idiot. and he is saved by a hug of a wolf. He goes running off like a coward, and then the other two hugs come down, and just look at their outfits. Look at them. Their outfits hide nothing to the imagination. Like, there is a reason why these guys are popular and still known to furries to this day. I still see art of them on Fur Affinity occasionally, even if this is only one season back in 1995. And not only that, but the biggest problem when watching a show as an English speaker and reader, well, this never got an official dub and never received an official subtitled option. Yeah, so the subtitles you're seeing, like I'm probably showing clips, I assume so. So the stuff you are seeing are fan-made. There's at least two fan-made options. There's one on YouTube and one other one that I kind of found on other websites. The YouTube one seems like he's like very dedicated, and I gotta give him props for it. He's very much a fan. But what I watched was this other version because that's the first version I watched a while back now. Was the first time I watched it, and it's something. Like, in general, both aren't very good. Both really aren't. They get names not only wrong, but sometimes completely wrong, and will constantly change the name between episodes. So trying to follow the anime plot with mediocre subtitles is really, really difficult. But it does make for some great laughs. Like, the big bad of the show is Prince Zaza. That's his actual name, that's not the subtitles. His name is actual Prince Zaza. But the subtitles will mostly refer to him as Princess Zaza. So it's really confusing if he was male or female for so long. It's really, really confusing. Because he definitely has more of a male voice, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. It makes it very confusing, but yeah, but also really funny. It does suck, though, that the subtitles just aren't accurate no matter what version you watch. As I'd love to understand the story and everything happening, but well. Not that it's all that great anyway. I'm mostly just here for the Wolf Daddy and Bird Daddy and the Gorilla. Those outfits are certainly something. And they're also just great in personality. Like Greyfist, the wolf, likes to pull apart things to check out how they are made. His problem, though, he doesn't know how to put them back together.
よし、これで元通りだ。笑うな。
どれ、俺がやってやるよ。
いいよ、私がやる。
Big Wood is, of course, just like the wise bird character. He has some good laughs here and there, though.
ねえ、ビクッと、君が僕の立場ならどうする？
そうですね。私なら。私なら悩みます。
And Garwoo is like the big kind dude, big cuddly dude. And then we have Konoha and Kira. Konoha is the basic woman character who does nothing to the story, but gets angry at the two males and stands there crying most of the time. But kind of basic like that. Kira, however, later learns he too is from the other world and is a knight himself. Which I do love the animation when they change it to the knights. It's just so 90s anime, and the music is really good. And the sound effects, it's just so nostalgic.
見てて。
And the same thing happens when they use their powers to power up the animals, making them into sacred beasts. Which later on in the series, Kira gets his own furry in the form of a bear, Didium, who is also kinda daddy. He is a lot more mean and cruel and just wants to fight, but Kira is the only one who can power him up. And he hates it, because Kira is a very kind of whiny, weakling kind of character. He is very soft and doesn't want to hurt anyone, so it takes a while for him to become a warrior, which there is a twist in there at the end I will reveal later, and eventually the two do like each other. In my canon, those two are lovers. So for the most part, the show is the good guys fighting the bad guys, who are all like in like big mechs. So it's kind of a mech anime, though the good guys are never in mech. So it's kind of half and half like that. But yeah, for a good chunk of it, they fight the same enemies. The two main ones being Lem and Yoon, who is sometimes referred to as Liam and Yuna and Yuna. Yep, it's such a mess with the subtitles, so I never knew what their names were for so long. Lem is kind of a confusing character who has his own motives and reasons for what he is doing, mostly coming down to just kind of wanting to fight a good warrior. And Yoon is in love with Lem, and will do anything for him which he uses against her. Eventually goes through like a whole arc of it, like losing her memories later, joining up with the good guys at the end. And yeah, it's not a bad kind of story they go with her. She's kind of ends up being a bit of an interesting character, I guess. Yeah, when it comes to spoilers, this show did come out in 1995. I think it's okay to talk about spoilers and such, but I will save the best and saddest for last. The big bad of the show is Zaza, who doesn't really do anything, he's just a brat. For like the first of the show, the Dark Knights, yeah, again, that's what they're called, it's so stupid. I tried to do something, it's not clear, probably because of the awful subtitles, but then end up bringing their base to Earth, and start to change Earth into their world. Now, here's where the show starts to go downhill, in a way. I do also apologize if the lighting changes, I'm still working out the settings of the camera. Basically, for over 10 episodes, like not until like the last 4 episodes of the show it changes, like for like over 10 episodes, it's nothing but filler. There are little things here and there that like don't make it all filler. It's more to show what war does. And now the bad guys are like destroying the city, and it does do a good job of showing war, I guess. Like there's an episode of how it affects a father who lost a child, a sad episode of a sick child who befriends Mr. Wolf, and eventually dies in the end. So yeah, that's a bit of a sad episode, and like it is good, but yeah, it is kind of sad. And it's like, yeah, kids die in the show. This is not a kid's show. But then there's also one about a thief who falls in love with Garwheel. Yep. Like, there's some straight up furry lovers in this show. Like, there's this character, Melody, who's in quite a few episodes. I'm not a huge fan of her. And she kind of falls for Didium, the bad dude. Though he sees her as a sister, she definitely sees him as more than that. And I kind of love they don't shy away from some furry love in this. Like, because they're just like big hunky warriors. And like, yeah, the girls are falling for him. And that's kind of hilarious. But yeah, most of the show is nothing but filler. But again, it does have the occasional good episodes with some good old-fashioned animation. The furry characters can be fun, and with the filler episodes, we get like a new bad guy in each episode, and some of them are fun and have like cool designs. Others are very dull though. I do like the action most of the time though, and again, the characters are fun. Though most of the fun I have with this show comes from the odd subtitles. Like there's a scene where Kira looks as though he has the hots for Toya and loves him, when I think he's meant to be kind of talking about Konoha, because him and Kira and Toya kind of fight over Konoha, and it's really, really annoying, because especially when Konoha only loves Toya, so Kira's just getting his heart hurt the entire time, and it's kind of sad and depressing. But yeah, then they do this weird little thing where it's like, oh, Kira might be in love with Toya. And honestly, like, they should have just gone down that route. They absolutely should have. Because it's just like, yeah, no, he's clearly gay. He's clearly gay. He's so soft and just doesn't want to hurt anything. He clearly is. Because, like, the worst part of this show is during that second half, the good guys are out fighting in city while Konoha is staying at home until they come back, and basically the two males keep fighting over her and who loves her and such, and that just gets irritating. And she's just not a good person. She generally argues with him all the time, and clearly also has the hots for Toya, but still complains all the time at him, and it's just such a basic kind of female character who just hates the main character, but also loves them, and it's just, but let me get into spoiler territory, and talk about the ending, because, like, I will say, this is not really a show I recommend. I still like it, don't get me wrong, but because of the bad subtitles, because of all the filler, it kind of makes it hard to watch and hard to kind of recommend. Most of my love comes down to the hot dudes. Like hell, even Toya wears a crop top, like, which is very cute. I wish I could do that look, but well, I look like this. Yeah, not quite sexy enough. So anyway, let's get into this. The ending has Toya just charge into the base all by himself because he just wants to go see Konoha, essentially, and try to just get this war over and done with. So he finds a way in all by himself, while on the outside, Kira discovers his true power. It turns out he is the true savior, the god of war, as the subtitles keep calling him, which happens all of a sudden. So Kira is actually much stronger than Toya and shows off his powers in a few ways before managing to bring everyone else into the base with his powers. And go after Prince Zaza, though once they get there and find Toya, the bad guys straight up murdered him. They gunned him down, and it is quite the sight, like, oh, they just killed the main hero. Yeah, this is not a kid's show. Like, damn. But no. Instead, what happens, I have never forgotten, I have never forgiven for this, because of how sad it makes me. See, I like Kira. I like the softies. If you know of Saint Seiya at all, I love Shun. He's the soft one in the group, and I absolutely adore him. He's the one who doesn't want to hurt anyone. And those are the kind of characters I really, really love. And so I really like Kira. I really, he reminded me of Shun. And I generally thought he was cute and kind of hot. But as Toya dies in his arms, and he cries out, and then he's all of a sudden engulfed in light, giving his life force over to Toya, and dies in the process. And Didium's reaction gets me every time. It is so sad and just so upsetting to see. Like, Didium hated Kira, and yet this is how he reacts to his death. Like, he definitely loved him in the end.
Kira! おい、どうしたんだよ。キラに何があったんだ。答えろよ。どうや、キラはな、キラはお前に自分の命をくれてやったんだよ。命を俺に。本当ならお前が死んでるところだったんだ。なのにキラはお前がキラを殺したんだ。
Like, the others aren't acting the same, just him, and it is so sad. I cried a lot the first time I watched the show.
キラ、触るな。お前なんかに指一本触れさせねえ。
And so in the end, Toya and the Furries fight off against Zaza, who turns into the devil, basically. And it's a very quick and easy fight. Nothing really happens. It's so boring. Like, the animation's kind of cool, the devil thing is kind of cool, but it's over and done with really, really quickly. And just the last episode. And, like, Kira does help out in spirit form, but again, that just kind of makes it sadder. So yeah, it does have a sad ending. Even though they do win in the end, it's still a sad ending. Now, there was going to be a season 2, so maybe he would have come back in that in some way, but that never happened. But the creator then made some novels and kind of rewrote the series and gave it an ending, which is kind of cool. I absolutely appreciate that as, like, a creator myself. I understand wanting to give it, like, a proper ending. But trying to find any info on those books besides that they exist is really difficult. I've not found anything. So in the end, it does have a memorable ending that did affect me. The subtitles are bad but funny. The animation is mostly good. I love their transformation sequences. I like the buff daddy furries. The story isn't great, even if I couldn't understand it most of the time. But in the end, what it didn't try to be anything more than what it was. It kind of like wore in its own laws and rules that's in the show, like Beastars and BNA does. Like BNA, I will always hate that show. Like, I don't hate it. I gave it a good score, I think. I still gave it a 6 or 7, I can't remember. But my problem with that show was, like, the whole idea that all the furries are put it onto an island to live there away from the humans. And yet they still look like humans. They still make themselves look like humans because, like, I don't know. I hated that. I hated that. Why would you look like the thing that hates you? That's so stupid. So stupid. But yeah, it's not really an anime I recommend unless you really want to just see these hot daddies. It is dated. Honestly, though, I think I will have to give Wild Knights of Gulkeeva 7 out of 10 foxes. Yeah, I think that works. The first time I watched it, I generally did enjoy it. The second time around, yeah, it did feel like a bit of a chore, especially through the filler episodes. But I generally did enjoy the show, even if the subtitles are a complete and utter mess. So yeah, 7 out of 10. So guys, hope you enjoyed this review. If you watch Wild Knights of Gulkeeva at any point, let me know down in the comments and what your thoughts on it are. If you want to watch it, let me know after you watch it and all that. Yeah. And as well, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Oh, and let me know what you thought about the camera and all that, and like if it's okay and whatnot. I don't know. I will find out when I'm editing this. Let me know though, guys. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, bye guys. So this anime is all about our world being attacked. You guys could probably hear some wobbling outside because I forgot to close my window. Good job, me. Ow. I lied. My window is closed. It's just extremely loud. It's gone now. Where was I? And it's back. God damn it. Really? Today? Today? Have to be this freaking loud? If you know of Saint Seiya, I love Shun. He's the soft little boy in it. Don't say that.